My name is Malachi Jones. I've been tattooing for a little over 2 years now, and I tattoo Asylum Studios in Daytona Beach. My whole life, I've always been into art. I was always the kid that got bullied in like elementary school, middle school for drawing. And so I joined the Marine Corps and I started getting heavily tattooed. I was like, so I joined at 17, and at 17 years old, I was going and I was getting illegally tattooed at shops in Pensacola. I'm not gonna name any names. They were like, yeah man, you're in the service, you can come get tattooed. So before I was 18, I had a whole leg sleeve. And then I found my two buddies in Pensacola who got me into tattooing and, teach me how to tattoo, got me my first machines. By the time I was like little over 18, I had two leg sleeves, arm sleeve, and chest piece. So from there on, I was like, I had broken my back in the Marine Corps, and I knew I was getting out. I wanted to get out and do aviation mechanics, but something just brought me into tattooing. And so I pestered them, and finally they were like, come paint, come draw, we're gonna teach you the ropes. From there, and just the passion grew. So I just started getting tattooed by them, and then it turned into me going to their house every weekend and me meeting their family, and those were my best friends from there on. Jason Pipes and Gabriel Judwins in Pensacola, and then they taught me. Yeah, so whenever I started the first flash sheet I painted. So drawing, you can draw something and it can look how it's gonna look. But whenever you go in and bring like watercolor paint to it, and it's not something that you can just delete on the iPad and restart. You fuck something up and it's fucked up. You have to restart. And I was like, man, this looks so much easier. Like on the phone, watching my buddies do it. I fucked my first flash up really bad. It was terrible. And I look back at it and I'm like, man, seeing where I was and seeing where I'm at now, it's awesome. But yeah, that was like, man, I don't know if I can do this after I finish that. You can't be, if you're 50%, you're guessing. Not supposed to, but I did my first tattoo in the barracks in the Marine Corps, and we were all drinking and shit. So no, I guess I wasn't really nervous. It looked like dog shit, but we were all having fun. My first real tattoo in a shop, though, when I took my first walk-in, I was shitting bricks. I got an adrenaline dump. My hands were shaking and shit. That was pretty rough. I think I was more nervous about the outcome. I'm a perfectionist to a T, and if I can't get something perfect, I sit there and beat myself up over it. So from the first time I pulled on that tattoo, I was like, it's fucked. Everything's fucked. The first shop that I got hired at down here, he didn't know my age. He thought that I was almost 30 by the time he found out my age. And when I told him that I was 19 at the time, and I'd already been tattooing a year, or apprenticing for a year, he was like, dude, be fucking glad you didn't tell me your age. I wouldn't have hired you.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. All the time, people, I'm not outward saying, I'm 20 years old. A lot of people, they look down on it. They're like, I don't want a 20-year-old tattooing me. Even though I'm doing a lot. I'm doing a lot of bigger pieces, and, it's hard to hear, but a lot of people look down on me for my age. Thinking about tattooing pretty much anytime my eyes are open.
Really?
Tattooing has consumed my life, and I love nothing more. Drawing, I would say I draw something every day. Painting, though, is what really draws me in. That's what calms me. That's what settles me in. I should be painting a lot more. I'm gonna paint probably once a month now, but I try to draw something every day. Even if I have an appointment 2 months in advance, I try to get it all knocked out. I'm still figuring it out, but I'm also all in. Like I can't do anything else. This path I feel like chose me more than I chose it. But it's hard. Tattooing is hard. A lot of people, they start tattooing in their house and they think that it's an easy money grab and that they can move over. Starving artist is a real term, It's some weeks you're like, man, I just got enough money to buy formula, and then some weeks you're like, man, I could go we can go to SeaWorld or whatever, So it's very hit or miss, but I'm definitely all in, but I'm still trying to figure out my groove in tattooing. I would love to be more online and more of a social media presence. I didn't grow up with any technology. I don't really know how to use technology. My girlfriend runs my Instagram. So as much as I would love to do that, I feel like more community presence is going to do my career better. I think I'll be a lot more successful that way. Before, having a kid makes everything harder. My dream was doing the convention circuit across the country, just traveling, going out to Japan, tattooing in Japan, getting tattooed in Japan. Now that I have a kid, it's a little bit harder, but yeah, I'm trying. I'm going to be at the Jacksonville convention in August. I'm trying to make it out to the Palm Coast convention in June. That's a maybe, but I'm just gonna keep trying to get my name out there. In a year from now, I would be happy sitting right here doing a lot more large scale pieces. If I could start filling my books with back pieces, with chest pieces, with I'm in the middle of working on 10 different sleeves right now. So if I can start getting all these sleeves finished and portraying all of it, that's where I'd love to be. Painting more if I could do a flash sheet a week. Mm-hmm. That's where I would love to be years from now. I just gotta keep putting my nose to the grindstone, keep dedicate myself to the craft. I would love to stick to traditional. That's what challenges me the most, I feel. So being a walk-in artist in Daytona Beach, I'm gonna be tackling everything. Fine line walks through the door, black and gray walks through the door, anything that comes in. I have to have the tools to be able to handle that. Now, the things that I'm putting out, and the things that I'm asking for, and the things that I want to tattoo, and I definitely think it's going to stay traditional. I'm not sure what's going to change that, if there's anything. Traditional is what pulled me into it, and obviously that's what I'm covered in. But if something's going to further my career and further my skills, make me better, I'm always open to it. I'll never say no to being better at this amazing craft. I love all of my flash, like American traditional skulls. Skulls are my absolute favorite thing. Growing up, my dad absolutely hated skulls. For some reason, skulls have always been my shit. I have a whole leg sleeve of skulls. If I could do skulls every day for the rest of my life, just one a day, and that would pay my bills, that'd be the happiest man in the world. Skulls would be my shit. What keeps me coming back to tattooing? Just smile on clients' faces. After I'm done and I see a tattoo and I'm fucking proud of this. I put my blood, sweat, and tears, and you can see them taking pictures of it, then shout me out on social media, then send me text, thank you so much. That's a huge thing. I would say also the art aspect of it. The art's always been my hobby growing up, and now that I've turned it into my career, it feels like I'm never at work. It's awesome. It's absolutely insane. Most people that go to their 9-to-5 job and they hate their life. I'll never have to worry about that. I've earned my way into tattooing, and it's provided. Sometimes it's tough, sometimes they're great, but I'll always keep coming back.